Here's the story behind how I got the idea for metaphor dice. Cue the music. I was talking to a student, a reluctant student in one of my poetry workshops who called herself more of a math science person. And I said, well, that's okay, because a metaphor is really just an equation between two words. It's a way of saying, let X equal Y. Let this concept equal this object plus maybe an adjective thrown in on the side. And I saw the light bulb go on over her head because I was speaking the language of math, but I was applying it to poetry. And then I caught myself saying, in fact, if you're ever stuck, you have writer's block, a good way to start writing a poem is to just generate a lot of random metaphors by putting objects and concepts and adjectives together until you accidentally find a metaphor that is inviting you to apply it to your own life. Like, my father is a broken mirror. And that's when I realized that there really ought to be a way to just generate lots of metaphors and see which ones stick. And that is what metaphor dice is. Here's how the dice work. You get 12 dice of 3 different colors, and you arrange them, you roll them, and then you arrange them, concept, adjective, object, to create 13,824 completely different metaphors, like my mother is a backhanded blessing, or love is a reluctant thunderstorm, or even the heart is a broken moon. The dice feel really heavy in your hands and even a little bit dangerous, and rolling them is just plain fun and sometimes hilarious. But eventually, even a math student is going to stumble on a metaphor and think to herself, wait, my father kind of is a broken superhero, and I can tell you why. And that's when you invite your students, that's the perfect time to get everybody to just settle down and explore in writing the truth or the insight of a certain metaphor, or just simply to restate it in their own words.
My mother is a rugged blessing, which is to say, no matter how many flower pots I break accidentally, no matter how loud I slam my bedroom door in anger, nothing, and I mean nothing, can silence the prayers that stream from her eyes like tears.
We actually have a couple hundred prototype sets on hand that are ready to be sent out before the end of the school year to anyone who chooses to back us at one of the early bird levels. But of course, you don't have to be a teacher in order to use metaphor dice. They make a great sort of daily poetry prompt generator. And we're discovering new ways that the dice can be used all the time, either by yourself or in a small group, or with a teacher with a whole class using an overhead projector and just one set of metaphor dice. And let me put in a quick plug for a backing level that we have called Make a Teacher's Day. For $34, you get a set of metaphor dice yourself, and we will mail a set to a teacher who desperately wants one. We have a list of about 1,500 teachers who have been following this project for at least a year, and they would be gobsmacked if a set were to arrive magically in the mail anonymously. You get to keep your anonymity. I hope you'll back my project, even if you're not a teacher, but especially if you are, and help me bring what is quite possibly the best idea I have ever had to the widest possible audience. And also because the hardest part of writing a poem used to be figuring out where to start. But with metaphor dice, it's hard to stop.